All right, traders. November's in the books. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I got several questions. I posted this chart on social media with these things on it, and I got a ton of emails kind of asking different things about it. And rather than answer everybody's email, my life would be so much easier if I just crank out this video real quick explaining it. So I just took a screenshot. You can see here 5-minute candles of ASNS, and I wanted to show the different entries that I called today. And actually, I like to prove that I traded them because, believe it or not, won't say any names, but there's actually people out there running rooms that don't even trade what they're calling. They're just making money off subs. Trading is first and foremost to me because I have a lot of passion for trading. And so if I wasn't trading, I wouldn't be running a room. It wouldn't be any fun. So that's why I put the screenshots out there. So this was just, I did a chat room search for ASNS after the fact and picked out, it automatically gives you the ASNS results, people that were talking about it. And so then I just kind of drew a square around it and screenshotted it. The comments after I posted the ASNS ID, I should say. So this right here was me. This is how I posted it in chat. ASNS 431/415 idea. That means I'm going to get long if it takes out 431 and the stops at 415. So a pretty tight stop. And the bell thing just means everyone heard a doorbell. So if they weren't looking at chat, they knew to look, right? And this is what it looked like. See this? I just drew this kind of little flag line, this trend line here. And the reason I called it there is because this was yesterday's high. It had put in a lower high today and was coiling. And there was a seller on the tape at 430. So my thinking was, and I was also on the microphone, by the way, my thinking was if it takes out that 430 seller, you're probably going to get enough momentum to take out this, and this. You have, these are what you ever hear me talk about stacked catalysts in my video? That's exactly what we had here. I love trades that should work right away with catalysts above. What do I mean by a catalyst? Well, the earlier high of day was right here. Yesterday's high, just above that, or right about in the same spot. And then a couple days ago, this was like the biggest mover on the planet that topped out here at 450, right? So when I can call this seller getting taken out at 430, knowing that like 435 and 439, I think I had these numbers right, and 451 are all potential catalysts, or we call them dominoes that could fall pretty quickly, and it's coming out of a tight range. So now I've got a great setup, right? And when level 2 and the chart line up, I squeeze the trigger, I pull the trigger, I press buy, right? And that's it. And you can see here, this first column is my limit, in case you're wondering, because you can't see the headers here. I did a limit of 432, and there's not a lot of science to that. I knew I wanted it if the 430 seller started getting taken out, right? So I used the matrix on TradeStation. That's what I trade with. So all you have to do is hover over the price that's your limit, which in this case, I hovered over 430 probably first, right? And these are my filled price. So I actually got filled right as the 430 seller was getting taken out. I bought 4,000 shares and then 2,000 more because it was really starting to whittle away. I bought 2,000 more. So I ended up with 6,000 at 430. And you can see the results just ripped right through there. And you can see happy people in chat. And this is what really turned my trading career around, or I should say launched my trading career, was figuring out entries that should work right away. You ever take a trade and you're red immediately, and then right away you've got in your mind, you say, well, crap, now what should I do? I don't want to take a quick $200 loss or whatever, right? So then you start thinking of all the terrible things you could do. I can buy more, or I can hold and hope. I can walk out of my office and hope I come back and I'm green, right? I've done all that stupid stuff. So over the years, I decided, you know what, I have to find entries that should work right away. And this is a perfect example of that. So I made the call. You see a whole bunch of people took it with me. And then we got those immediate results. And this was obviously my biggest winner of the day. I also wanted to highlight what I meant by people were saying, what are these arrows? Why did you take it at 394? I even got an email saying, well, if you had it from 394, weren't you trying to pump your own position? I was already out of that, as I told everybody in chat. This was after this nice morning move, right? This is the opening 5-minute candle here, and it was just straight up, came very close to challenging yesterday's high. My thinking is, okay, this day, by the way, you can't see the daily on here, but the daily chart was beautiful. And so my thinking was, I want to buy this first pullback because I think as it got close to yesterday's high, shorts are getting kind of nervous, especially after this move it made the other day, right? So I'm bidding on the pullback right where we teach in our course. And I was bidding at 394, got filled at 394. And if you're wondering, it only went down to 390. I was 4 cents underwater at one point. And then as it came back up and challenged the high of day, I took out most. And then when it broke the high of day, I think I took out the rest. And then I thought I'll revisit this if it gives another clean setup. And then this was my other trade in it. So, and you'll notice I took way more shares on this clean break with catalysts above than I did on this pullback play. Because and when I'm getting filled on the way down, I always trade smaller, right? And believe me, I still have a stop a hard stop in place. Or I don't put a hard stop. I know exactly in my mind is what I mean by hard stop. I know exactly in my mind where I'll kill it. And again, that's stuff we teach. So that's the meaning of the arrows. That's the meaning of this line. I wanted to show my fills and all that stuff. And also wanted to prove that we actually have people in our chat room that trade too. We're not all just sitting around. We're actively trading. Listen, if that doesn't answer your questions, shoot me another email because I'm really talking to like 3 or 4 different people because I got 3 or 4 different emails. If I didn't properly answer your question, shoot me an email. Otherwise, man, have a great weekend. It's been a fantastic month, and we will see everybody on Monday.